Breaking news with Basedandbougie. Guys, today is a very, very good day for us patriots. First and foremost, the Bell Hotel in Epping has finally been closed for migrants. Second of all, Operation Raise the Colours does not seem to be slowing down. Today is a good day. Let's get into it, guys. So, guys, I had a Union Jack flag somewhere in my house, but I couldn't find it. So I decided to just wear my red football shirt because obviously red is a part of the Union Jack, and obviously here in the UK we love football. I decided to have my blue background, and I also decided to bring my white skin tone because apparently I'm a white supremacist. Yes, apparently I'm a coconut. Apparently I'm a queen. Apparently I want to be white. I'm whitewashed. So yes, we have all the colors present today. So I'm sorry I actually couldn't bring the flag, but I need to order a new one. If you guys know any websites to order a huge flag that I can sometimes put as a background, please let me know in the comment section. But the Bell Hotel in Epping has finally been closed after the public put so much pressure on the establishment, the council, whoever you want to call it, to close that hotel. We finally been able to close the hotel. Now, if you guys are not aware of what happened at the Bell Hotel, which is in Epping, basically a migrant, to our surprise, tried to assault a child on her way to school. And obviously, the Epping community said, nah, this is not happening in our community because obviously we've seen what the grooming scandal done to this country. It's literally a national stain in this country. We've seen how traumatic it's been to the Rochdale community, the Rotherham community, and so many other places in the UK. And the Epping community, sorry guys, said, nah, we're not having it. So this basically sparked protests all across the country. And this is basically what sparked the fire within all these different communities, where you're seeing many patriots standing outside of these hotels demanding that these migrants come out. Now, Sky News reported that the council has won its bid to temporarily block asylum seekers from being housed at a hotel in Essex. Epping Forest District Council sought an interim High Court injunction to stop migrants from being accommodated at the Bay Hotel in Epping, which is owned by Somali Hotels. The interim injunction demanded that the hotel be cleared of its occupants within 14 days, but in his ruling on Tuesday, Mr. Justice I granted the temporary block while extending the limits by which it must stop housing asylum seekers to the 12th of September. Now, of course, this is great news because it once again just shows the power in people. Not only does it show the power in people, but it actually shows the power in peaceful protesting. The fact that we've been able to pull this off without rioting, without fighting, without any form of violence, just basically contradicts what the media and the establishment has been saying about this community being far right, racist, fascist thugs. So that's a huge win. But what was kind of like a side eye for me was the fact that basically a temporary block. What do you mean by temporary? What I'm so tired of our establishment doing is just these short-term fixes, just putting these, sellotape all over the problem rather than actually getting to the root of the problem. Another thing that I'm quite terrified of is the fact that they are going to end up moving some of these migrants into five-star hotels, just the way they did in the Britannia Hotel. Now, guys, when we are protesting against migrants being in the Britannia Hotel, we are not saying that we want life to be extremely hard for these migrants. We're not saying that we want these migrants to sleep out on the street and just have very, very difficult lives. What we are saying is that there's people who are more deserving of those five-star hotels, okay? First and foremost, the people who paid money for those hotels. If you guys are not aware, they are currently blocking people who paid money to stay in the Britannia Hotel, and they're blocking them from accessing it. What? I paid money for this service, so you should give me the first service that I paid for. The second reason why, we don't think these people should be in there is because they're not deserving of it. We have veterans, we have old people, we have the Windrush generation, that actually helped rebuild this country after World War II. Why aren't they being housed there? Why are people who just arrived here, like, what makes them so special? I think that's what we're all confused about. What makes them so special? And in fact, they're not special. They're actually quite dangerous because a lot of them, it makes no sense how you just come to the country, but you're already committing some of the most heinous crimes. If you guys are not aware, just last week, a migrant tried to walk into a blind woman's home to do God knows what. Okay, so it's not that we're trying to make their life difficult. We're just saying there's other people in the country who are more deserving of these 5-star spaces. I also wanted to point out that the reason why this is such a good win, because it brings back the meaning of community. Okay, community is a bunch of people who live amongst each other and share a common culture or common ideas. And I think we need to bring back the art of allowing communities to have a say in what they want to happen in their community. Okay, because I feel like what has happened in Great Britain is that we have lost a say, especially the native English people. They have lost a say in what they want to happen in their country or their communities in their city, and everything is just, being handed over to other groups, whether it's the LGBTQ, whether it's terrorism, whether it's Islam. Like, everyone else gets to have a say in what's happening in the country except the actual native people. That's so backwards. And the reason why that's so backwards is because if it was to happen in any other country in the world, Native America, South Africa, there would have been uproar. Black Lives Matter literally would have pressed pause on the whole planet. So I love that we're bringing back the sense of community, meaning we should have a say on who we want to allow into our communities. And in this case, they just don't want, like, there should be nothing wrong with people no longer wanting and murderers. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but I saw footage of some of these migrant hotels. They have knives in there. I even made a whole video of an ex-employee who exposed what goes on in these hotels, and these people are carrying drugs, these people are carrying knives. The video is right here. I'm also going to share a video of a man who tried to assault a girl in Epping. Here's the clip. And I believe
oh, fine. From the front.
Video.
No! He's been trying to track to minors, bro! He's trying to minors, bro! Them minors said, police are coming! Police are coming! He's watching.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Mason! Mason! Sorry. Come here.
Beg. Who's a king?
And I believe you did it to this young girl.
Now, somebody he basically took this Epping hotel protest as almost like a personal project was Adam Brooks, who I like a lot, and this is what he had to say.
Amazing decision by the High Court, but let's just remember the council, the local council, did not back our protests, did not support us, did not turn up. Our local MP did not turn up, did not support us. We forced the council into this action. The truthful reporting from the ground, myself and others put it out there in the mainstream media, and thankfully people like GB News and Talk TV and all those reported it truthfully. Well done to everyone that turned up and protested, especially the women and children, especially the pink movement, the pink ladies. Well done. We gave the council no choice but to do this. We were not stopping until this was closed. Well done, the people of Epping. Well done those that backed us. Well done those that stuck their head above the parapet and felt uncomfortable and did something they'd never done before.
I couldn't agree more. The reason why we've been able to pull this off is because the people, sorry, not the people, the people put pressure on the establishment. They put pressure on the public, which just goes to show there is power in people and there is power in being peaceful. I know right now we are living in dark times where sometimes people may just be feeling, let me just act out, let me just be violent, No, we've seen that peace and non-violent protests can lead to results. So let's just continue in that path. Another exciting win is Operation Raise the Colours. Guys, I love this. I love to see people standing on business and saying, haha, I am proud to be British. I am proud to be English. What are you going to do about it? So basically, there's this whole social media operation that started. I don't even know who started it, but basically everyone is just waving the British and English flag all over the country. Now, I personally think this is a beautiful sight to see. I always thought that the Union Jack is one of the most beautiful flags in the world, not just because of its colour, not just because it symbolizes how, Great Britain has been able to create the modern world that we know today, but one of the main reasons to why I love the Union Jack and the English flag is because it has one of the most powerful symbols in the world, which is the cross. Okay, I'm a Christian, so people need to understand that when people are attacking the English flag or the Union Jack, you are not just attacking a flag or country or an ethnicity of people, you are actually also attacking Christianity. Okay, this country was built on Christian values. That's why you have that cross there. But obviously, because we live in this world and we're not actually a part of this world, and the Bible continuously repeats that this world is built by Satan. Now, obviously, because this world is run by Satan and Satan hates Christ and the cross, of course, you have people trying to tear down the flag, people trying to bring down the flag, which is just like, what world are we what world are we living in, guys, where people are trying to take down the flag of the country they live in? It makes no sense. This would never happen in Dubai. This would never happen in Somalia. But here in the UK, what has happened where people can wave the Palestine flag every 2 seconds in every corner of the street? You see all of these Arabic, Muslim, Islamic festivals taking place all over Hyde Park. They're literally shutting down the streets. You're seeing all these LGBTQ festivals with their flags and they're shutting down the streets. Even during Pakistani Independence Day, okay? I think in Birmingham, they basically got this huge library. I don't know the name of the library, but they basically covered it in the colors of the Pakistani flag, which is green and white. So everyone's allowed to wave their flag except the actual country, except the actual natives. Like, deep that for a second. Like, what world is this that we're living in where it's almost becoming an abomination to want to do that? I saw this image where I absolutely loved, and I actually asked ChatGPT to turn it into a Renaissance image. And guys, does this not look sick? This looks sick. Like, I need to frame this. My conspiracy to why I feel like there's such an attack on the English flag and the Union Jack flag is because, of course, one, they are trying to attack Christian conservative values, but it's also to implement socialism. I think what's happening, and this is just my conspiracy, but I think what we are seeing in the UK is an implementation of socialism. Okay, I broke it down on Liam Tufts' podcast, which is going to come out very, very soon, and basically everything we're seeing in the UK is a step-by-step guide on how to implement socialism. How you do that is you create a blank canvas. But how you implement socialism is you basically create sub communities, okay? Rather than a country or community having a common unity over one culture, one religion, one tradition, you create sub communities, and that's what they're doing right now. They're doing it through Islam, they're doing it through LGBTQ, they're doing it through all these different sub communities that they keep creating in the UK. And then what happens is they point the group that they are trying to dismantle, or the group that's a threat to them, as their enemy. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the BLM community blaming white people for everything. You're seeing the Islamic community having this hatred towards English Christian conservatism. You're seeing the LGBTQ community, they have this hatred towards the English conservative culture. You see even the BLM community, they now have this hatred. So it's basically a new method of divide and conquer. And once they've been able to successfully divide and conquer, that's how they are able to create socialism. So you create this divide, and then you create this blank space then you create this blank space between that divide, and you say the only way to solve this issue is through me, socialism. And I truly think that's what the plan is here in this country. Guys, I don't know why I'm stuttering so hard today. Like, it's actually not that deep to speak English. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, guys, today is definitely a double win. The fact that the Epping Hotel was finally shut is a win. The fact that, Operation Raise the Colours does not seem to be slowing down. Literally every single time people take down the flag, we come back out, we put it in. It is absolutely beautiful to see. And it shows the power in people, and it shows the power in being peaceful, and it also shows the power of Christianity. What does it say in Ephesians 4:3? It says, make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. And that's exactly what we're doing, and that's exactly what they hate. They hate when Christians can unite and be peaceful about it, whilst them lots are out here kicking up a fuss, being violent just to get their way. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, guys, if you guys want more videos like this, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.